We're diving into the flames of a fresh new meta and a brand new year. So, buckle up, because we're about to set the competition ablaze. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, and a happy new year to you all. Hope you had a good New Year's Day, because I know I did. So, we're gonna be starting off the new year in a fiery way. Being that Fire King isn't at full power until February, and the new ban list takes effect on the 1st, it puts the format in a little bit of a weird spot. Now, that means that everything right now is pretty much undefined. And right now, nobody really knows what decks are gonna be played. So, with that being said, let's head to locals and find out. He starts by special summoning the witch by pitching a droll, and on summon, he'll use the effect, which is then met by an imperm. He'll normal summon Ponix and use the effect, which is then chained by an effect Veiler. He's then going to use the effect of Kieran to pop Ponix and then link into Little Knight. I'll draw for turn, and then in standby, he's going to add Ponix from his graveyard back to his hand. I'll normal summon Ponix and use the effect to add Sanctuary. I'm going to activate Sanctuary, placing the field spell. We'll use the field spell effect, and George is going to chain with Little Knight, banishing our Ponix and his Little Knight. We'll resolve Island by popping Ash in our hand to search out Garunix, and use the effect of Garunix to special summon. On summon, I'm going to use the effect to pop Barong from deck. I'm then going to attack with Garunix, and in main phase 2, I'm going to use Talons to shuffle his Ponix from his hand back to the deck, and then I'm going to use Prosperity to dig into my deck. I'm then going to take the Imperm as an interruption on his turn. On his standby phase, I'll use Barong's effect, which then he's going to chain Little Knight, and I'm going to chain Imperm to negate his Little Knight. He'll then normal summon a Ponix and use the effect to add Sanctuary. He activates Sanctuary to place Island on the field, and he'll use the effect of Island, which then I will chain Kieran to summon. He'll then add Garunix and use the effect to summon. On summon, he'll activate the effect of Garunix, and I'll chain Sanctuary to Xe summon. He'll pop Barong, and on resolution, we'll use Garunix Eternity's effect to clear the board. He's gonna pass, and in our standby phase, we'll use Ponix's effect and he'll chain Barong, where we can chain the called by that we just top decked. We're gonna win game 1 and move to game 2. Alright, so game 2, George will go first. He'll start by using Wanted to search for the witch in the draw phase. He'll then special summon the witch in the main phase by pitching Garunix, which he then uses her effect to set another Wanted, which means he hard drew the Sinful Spoils. He'll then activate Sinful Spoils, sending the witch, and I'll chain Ash. He'll use the Wanted's effect to draw 1. He'll normal summon Arvada and pass. On our turn, we're going to special summon Fenrir and use the effect to add another Fenrir. I'll then normal summon Arvada and then attack with Fenrir, banishing his Arvada face down, and then re-declaring the attack with Fenrir and attacking with Arvada. I'll set 1 card face down and then pass turn. He'll special summon the witch by pitching DD Crow, and then he'll attack over the Fenrir. He'll summon Ponix, use the effect, adding Sanctuary, and then basically start the usual Fire King combo, using Garunix's effect to pop Kieran and the effect of Kieran to pop my face down, which I'll then chain with Super Poly, using his Garunix and my Arvada into a Mud Dragon. He's able to beat over it and not resource me, and off to game 3. Game 3, I'm gonna go first. I'll normal summon Ponix and add Sanctuary off the effect. We'll activate Sanctuary and place Island on the field. Right now, our hand is Garunix, Kieran, and 2 DD Crows. I'm going to go ahead and pass on this. He'll activate Sanctuary, place an Island on the field, and then use the effect of Island, to which we chain Kieran. He'll pop Garunix in hand, adding Arvada, and then he'll activate Garunix in hand to summon, to which we chain our Garunix as well. On summon, it'll be Chainlink 1 his Garunix, Chainlink 2 my Garunix, Chainlink 3 Sanctuary. We'll then Xe summon into Eternity, then destroy Kieran from our deck, and he'll destroy his own Kieran from his deck as well. Then it's going to be Chainlink 1 his Kieran, Chainlink 2 Eternity, Chainlink 3 Kieran, our Kieran, destroying his field spell and summoning our Ponix. He'll then summon out Arvada, which will then be popped on resolution because of the field spell. He'll activate Sinful Spoils, sending Sanctuary, summoning out Ash, and then using the effect to add Ponix. He's going to normal summon Ponix and add another Sanctuary. He'll use the effect of Snake Eye Ash to bring out Flamberge, and use the effect of Flamberge to put my Eternity in the spell trap zone. On my turn, he'll use Flamberge effect to summon out my Eternity onto his field. We'll normal summon Ponix and use the effect to add Circle. On resolution, he'll use Kieran in hand to destroy Flamberge, which then will trigger both Garunix in his grave and Flamberge. I'll chain DD Crow on his Garunix and the second DD Crow on his Ponix. We'll use Island popping Ponix, searching for Garunix, and summoning out Garunix. We'll then destroy Arvada and then summon out Kieran with Arvada. We'll attack over Eternity with Garunix and then crash both Kierans. He'll then activate his Kieran and I'll chain my Kieran, which then puts a monster on his board, pops mine, and we lose to time, and we're now X1 at the start of the tournament. Alright, so they win the dice roll and will start their turn by activating Wanted and adding Witch to the hand. They'll special summon Witch and use her effect, but it's met with my effect failure. They'll activate the island and attempt to use the effect, popping Ash Blossom in hand. They'll search Garunix and summon him out. On summon, he'll pop Kieran and Kieran's effect will trigger, bringing out Barong. They'll link 2 into IP and then pass turn. In the standby phase, I'll imperm the IP. Then I'll special summon out Fenrir using his effect to add Rise Heart. I'll activate Island, use the effect popping Rise Heart to add Garunix, which will then trigger and summon. On summon, Garunix will activate and he'll chain with Mourner, which then I'll chain with Called By. I'll destroy Ponix on resolution. I'll then attack into Witch with Fenrir banishing it face down. Then proceed to attack to put damage on board. I'll then activate Prosperity for 3 and add Ash Blossom. I'll pass and our opponent will scoop. Game 2 was essentially a back and forth with brick hands and a stale game, which in the end, one misplay costed us the game. Game 3, I'm going to go first and start our turn by summoning out Fenrir. We'll use his effect to add another Fenrir. I'm going to set 1 and pass. He'll then normal summon Barong and then activate Kieran to summon. On summon, he'll attempt to use Garunix effect and I'll chain with Bell. And then on resolution, I'll banish Kieran face down. He'll activate talents to take and then attack me for damage. He'll set 2 and pass. In standby, he's going to add Kieran to hand off of Barong's effect. We'll normal summon Ponix and then we're going to activate the field spell and use the effect to pop Ponix, adding Garunix and then summoning him out. On summon, we'll use the effect but he imperms Garunix. We'll then attack for damage and pass. Our opponent will then activate Kieran, popping Garunix, and then on summon, we'll use Fenrir to banish his second Kieran face down. Our opponent will then concede, leaving us the win for round 2 at locals. Round 3 was against Sword Soul, which we ended up taking it 2-0. And then in the final round was Pendulum Z-Arc. Now, I have no idea what this deck is or what it really actually does. But I'm sure the Pen players are super happy to see a Pendulum deck on the video. So game 1, I'm going to go ahead and set up my board, and he could not break it. I was able to OTK for game on the following turn. Game 2, he was able to set up some interruption, but not too many. But unfortunately for us, we also bricked on Fenrir's, so our opponent won that game. Game 3 was a back and forth interaction. However, even with doing the best that I could, given the circumstance, I was out-resourced and could not pull the final win we needed, leaving our fire momentarily extinguished. You can't win them all, but like a phoenix, we will rise back from the ashes. So, we'll see you next time for our locals experience.